I want to share with you a brief report of our recent Kenya youth outreach, which we sponsored in October and November of this year. It wasn't long ago that I first considered the idea of providing a few soccer balls for the young people of Africa, with the hope of using soccer to gather young people to church events where they could not only play their favorite sport, but also hear the good news of Jesus Christ. We did this earlier this year in a smaller way, but this time we decided to up our game and set up a community-wide soccer tournament/youth evangelism outreach so we could catch some young fish in our gospel net. And the results were fantastic. We had intended that we would combine soccer with the local pastors talking to the young people, and then we'd finish in the afternoon by having them watch a couple of the videos and put that on a large screen television. But the day of this meeting was overcast, and eventually rain began to fall. Still, there were a lot of young boys and girls who came to play soccer, and during the halftime, the pastors gathered them together and shared the gospel with them. And as a result, 37 youths prayed to receive Jesus Christ as Savior. Because of the rain, they decided to come together the following Saturday for watching the videos. Now, this is what surprised me. I would have supposed that we would have a large group of youth come for the soccer tournament, and only a handful might come the next week to watch the Bible teaching videos. Yet amazingly, it turned out that around 200 youths came to watch those videos. I asked our coordinator why this was, and he told me that because we had provided them with new soccer balls and bought snacks and drinks for them the week before, it had given us a lot of favor with these young people, and they had come to see us as friends and wanted to watch the videos. And during this gathering, 27 more young people indicated their desire for salvation and prayed to receive Jesus as Savior. So between the soccer tournament ministry and the video teaching ministry the week afterwards, we had 64 responses from young boys and girls and young men and women who indicated their desire to follow Jesus. Our youth coordinator was really touched about the effectiveness of this type of outreach. He told us that our previous soccer and youth evangelism ministry had made a significant impact on the local churches. And he sent me an email and he said, I have received calls from 4 pastors who testified that their churches are now filled with youths like never before. Many of these young people are actively serving in church and showing genuine interest in the things of God. It is truly amazing to see the great impact that this program is bringing into their lives. Young people seem to be much more compliant toward the gospel than older people, and to reach a young person for Christ is to set up a life of godliness and fruitfulness. And one evidence of this is the man who coordinates these youth events. His name is Meshach, and he gave his life at one of the first meetings I ever preached in Kenya. He has been a faithful servant of Jesus and is now married with several children, and he is a diligent worker in the cause of Christ. Some of the mothers of the young people showed up at the meetings, and they were thrilled at the work of Jesus' grace in the lives of their children. One mother was in tears as she shared how her son was now attending church after many years of refusing to go. Also, he had previously dropped out of school, but now he was planning to go back to school and get his degree. Many of these youths come from very rough backgrounds. Many have no father at home, and some are orphans with neither father nor mother. As our coordinator went on and on about the effectiveness of this outreach, I became curious and I asked him, what makes this outreach different from the local church's youth programs? He told me that first, many of these young people would never set foot in a church, but they will eagerly come for the soccer tournaments, and then their hearts are touched by the fact that they are treated so well with snacks and drinks, and real soccer balls are being used and given away. Secondly, in some cases, the young people who have had some experience with church often feel they're being constantly and harshly rebuked by ministers and have never had church people show them love or encourage them in sports. This kind of outreach is totally new to them, and they're drawn to Christ, by His people showing such interest in them in a non-judgmental way. But whatever the cause, whatever the reason, young people are gathering. Jesus Christ is being preached and taught, and many are receiving Him. And for this I rejoice. Thank you so much for your support of Spirit of Grace Ministries. As long as we have your support, we plan to continue to reach out to the African people, both the young and the old, with the message of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Soon it's going to be Christmas season, and we plan to organize a Christmas banquet and Bible teaching in both Kenya and Nigeria and provide Christmas gifts for the local orphans. John the Baptist told his listeners that those who had 2 coats should give 1 coat to someone who had none. And when we minister to needy Africans, we're doing something very similar to that. But better still, we're ministering Jesus Christ, who is the great need of the Americans as well as the Africans, and all the people of all nations everywhere.